misconceptions can be powerful, shaping our perceptions and, of course, influencing our decision. But what happens when these misconceptions are rooted in incomplete or inaccurate information? Well, hello and welcome to Randoms. I am your host, Sharon Aja, and of course with me is delectable Ogochukwu Mobodo.
Really delectable.
Yeah,
Wow.
the word just popped up and I'm like,
That's,
this really
that's
suits
big.
you.
That's big. That's on period.
So how are you doing today, Ogochukwu?
I'm very well, thank you, Sharon. How are you doing?
I'm super fine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, of course, Ogochukwu is with me to dissect the trending topics and the conversations that is making the internet to buzz. We'll be starting off by with a trending issue about Pastor Adefarasin. A recent trending video on social media where Pastor Paul Adefarasin, the convener of the Experience and a lead pastor of House on the Rock Church, was seen pointing something that is said to be a gun at a said content creator. The video has sparked controversies online as social media users are condemning the pastor for holding what kind of looks like a pistol, allegedly, of course. Pastor Paul Adefarasin has therefore addressed the viral video that showed him holding an object that many viewers described as a firearm. The video began circulating on social media over the weekend, with users alleging that the pastor flashed a gun at a content creator known for filming exotic cars. On Sunday, the pastor strongly denied wielding a gun at pointing a gun at anyone, and he described the incident as a misunderstanding and an organized strategy to make money through clickbait. Posted by an ex-user, Chooks, who alleged that the gun was pointed at him. Of course, Chooks was the one that posted about the video, said it was the one that brought to the notice of social media users that it is a gun that was pointed at him. And of course, he said that I was trying to greet the pastor, and that was when the pastor pointed the gun at him. Well, before we dissect this conversation and go fully into, the reactions of various social media users, let's take a look at a short clip.
What we have had to witness was clickbaiters, just looking for more money. I probably wasn't even their target. Their target was to make more money. And I was falsely accused of bearing a firearm, pointing a firearm at an aggressive content creator who came within personal distance. The only thing separating me and him was about maybe 3/4 of a meter and glass. I do not have a pistol license for a firearm. I do not carry a firearm, and I pointed no firearm at anybody. Amen. And it's our policy not to dignify.
Boss. Sorry.
Well, that's the short clip. You could be the judge of it. Is that a gun or not? And I'm super excited that the pastor, or would I say excited, but I'm just glad that the pastor, made reference to the video and, of course, addressed his members. But, of course, before we go into this conversation, let's take comment from social media. Ogochukwu, over to you, please.
Thank you so much, Sharon. So our first comment today on social media is coming from Beams. And Beams said, "Are you carrying something incriminating that made you stop and roll down your windows? Because the car had no plate number. Is that boy now the enemy or what?" These Nigerian pastors on how they turned the Bible upside down. Okay, what has the Bible got to do with this one now? Every little thing, people just want to talk about the Bible,
Exactly.
talk about this religion and that religion. Anyways, that's Beams talking, and the next comment is coming from Chibuikem Christian, and Chibuikem says, "I'm not a fan of this pastor at all, but must one post any encounter with people? Very good. You waved and he stopped to greet you, and you saw something. Must you post it? For what reason should you post it?" To be very honest, when you waved, he was so humble enough to wind down his, his car, the glass, to say hi to you, and you saw something and you said he's pointing down a gun. He's pointing a gun at you. If he wanted to kill you, I'm sure he would make it well. It has to be seamless, for the person he is in the society. So that's another thing. So let's not go into that. So Chibuike further went to say, why should Fulani carry AK-47 and you want me to be empty? Oh, God. Okay. Chibuike, you are going too far. You are really going too far. So the next one is the tailor's hand. And the tailor's hand says, I only imagine how long that guy was following him at close range before he wind down.
Okay.
Picked up and teaser and confronted the guy. I just wonder. And that was also a teaser, not a gun. Are you all angry he confronted the guy, or you just want to talk about it because it's a pastor? That's another side. Some persons want to bring down religious leaders most times. When they see religious leaders progress, we've seen it several times. When you see a religious leader, buy a new car or a new jet, you get to see people talking about it, and they're telling you, oh, a religious leader is making this kind of money, but then an entertainer, you don't get to talk about it, and it's really, really not a very good one. The next comment is coming from Sarah Fidelis, and Sarah says, what do you guys want to know what he is holding? Okay, why do you guys want to know what he's holding? Mind your business, and he can drive any car he wants to, not your money. Go and get yours if it is easy. Stop crying for people that don't need your sympathy. That is from Sarah. And the next one, the last but not the least, is coming from Duke of Africa. And Duke says, if Pastor Paul Adefarasin is saying what he flashed on that camera is not a gun, what is it then?
That's the most important.
Why didn't he bring the weapon to show his church members what it was really? Okay, to be very honest with you, Sharon, I saw that video, and also I think someone actually screenshotted that part where he actually flashed that item. And to be very honest, from my own point of view, from my own side,
It looks like a gun.
it doesn't look like a gun.
Oh, really?
To be very honest. Okay, there is this, someone mentioned a teaser in the comments. And it will make you now want to go and get like a picture of a teaser. They have different shapes. Teaser is that thing you use like a shocker for maybe to scare people away, or maybe to weaken people, and policemen use it, and people even, I don't know if they are licensed to have it right now in Nigeria, but I know some people use it abroad because of,
For safety
purposes and all of that. So if he's using a teaser, we understand. At this point, you now say, is the Holy Spirit not going to guide you? Is God not going to protect you? But sometimes we really need to protect ourselves, because Nigeria is really filled with so many things, a lot of people. You don't know the good from the bad. That's the truth. He might be, yes, he's a pastor, he's a big person in the society, he's a religious head, but then that is even the reason why he's like a target. Some people might not like him. So even for him to wind down, it simply means that he doesn't even want to hurt this said guy. Perhaps maybe he wants to, scare him away. Like, what are you doing in my car? And that guy is said to be a car content creator. Perhaps he wants to take like angles of the car. But then why? If you want to do such a thing, he can be arrested. I'm telling you, in a more civilized country, he can be arrested. Why are you taking pictures of my car? That's really big. Why are you taking pictures of my car? Is there something you want to do to me? Do you want to trace my whereabouts? Do you want to trace my movements? It is true. So why are you going to take pictures of the car of someone without taking their permission? So if Pastor Paul Adefarasin really wants to push, he can actually arrest this content creator. And someone again went ahead to say in the comment section, must you post everything you see? I understand, okay, from the other angle, you might say, oh, it's life-threatening, so he has to post it just in case anything happens to him. They will, refer back to Pastor Paul Adefarasin. But again, you have to ask yourself, you are the one looking for something. Now, the person that you are looking for it says, I don't want it. Must you post it?
Ogochukwu, let's even talk about that for a split second. See, when it comes to the life of celebrities, let me narrow it down to
celebrity
the life
pastor.
of celebrity pastors. See, the way people demand that you live your life in accordance
to what they want,
exactly,
not even
aside
what you
they want. They want you to be a perfect or 100% replica of Christ. So they just believe that you must not get angry, you must not be seen in an inappropriate place. Like, they literally just expect you to know this thing. And sincerely, you will not blame these people, because that's the kind of life that literally everybody would want to live. They call it the perfect life. So they just believe that if you're a pastor, and not just the pastor, but a pastor that leads quite a number of congregation, you should be able to be consecrated enough to live that holy life.
Okay.
Now let's talk about Pastor Adefarasin.
Until they beat one content creator, truly.
Let's talk about him. You know,
Okay.
I wouldn't even blame the content creator.
Okay.
Because in as much as that thing did not look like a gun, and I believe that it stemmed up from the fact that you've been hearing, oh, maybe it's a teaser, and that's why I just say, oh, it
might
actually
really be a
doesn't look like a
teaser.
gun. Imagine if you had just seen if you were the first person to see that video.
Okay.
It looks like a
Little
gun. It's
scary.
a shape of a gun.
A gun.
Even if it was smaller than that.
Yes.
Our mind would not go to teaser. Okay, now let's imagine, not even imagine, let's believe it's a teaser.
A teaser.
What shape is the teaser built like? The
like a
teaser is
gun.
built like a gun. So you wouldn't blame the content
can
creator
scare
for
him off.
believing that it's like it's a gun.
So, okay, now at this point, you know, Sharon, at this point, I want to ask, is it that a pastor is not licensed to have a gun or can't have a gun?
Okay, see, at this point, you can literally have anything you want to have just to protect yourself, because in all the crowd that chases after you and trying to, Pastor, bless me, and all of that, we have some that would want to do something to you. We've heard of cases of celebrities where they got shot by their
Yes, in
fans.
crowd.
So
Yes,
we have to
yes,
protect
very
ourselves.
true.
But in this case, the young man I want to believe he was just holding a phone. So what exactly, according to what Pastor Adefarasin said, or was preaching on the pulpit to his members, he said the content creator was aggressive. From the video we got, I don't know if the content creator was aggressive before.
Because we didn't see his part.
Yes, and
okay.
you know, people were asking the question that if he was really aggressive, why wind down your glass? I want
to warn him with a gun.
Why? Like, if you're aggressive, my car will be wind up and I will try to drive past you. So why did you bring down your glass and then pointed something that looked like a gun to that man? It shows that you want to make him maybe stay far away from you, or let him know, oh, I'm harmed. If you try anything, I'm gonna, I'm gonna give it to you. And it's really sad, because it shows that you are not also, in as much as you want to protect yourself, it shows that you also do not want to be disturbed. Because if you are disturbed, you just feel like you can whip out a gun and you can. But that is not what guns and teasers are for. Those are for delicate moments where you have to protect yourself from people that are trying to hurt you.
You know, he's not just a religious head. He's the convener of a very big worship program in Nigeria, the experience that happens once every year, and also the general overseer of a very big church, the House on the Rock. So he's not just anyone, he's a big person. Just the same way most of these big pastors work with policemen, and even they call them security men, and these security men are armed, whether you like it or not. They are not just on suits. Whether you like it or not, they are carrying either a pistol and all of that. So I think in that scenario, he's just the only one moving. So he needs something to protect himself, since he's not with all of this. So imagine now we have this big religious head working with his entourage and his security guard, and one person is running towards him. Do you know that they're going to stop that person, and they might even use a gun to, they're not going to point at the person definitely, but use the gun to scare you out, to stay away, And that's because we Nigerians sometimes we don't even know when to stop.
We literally don't ever
we don't know when
to
cross the line. We don't know when it is time for this and when it is time for that. And sometimes it is really, really annoying, because these content creators these days, because they have data, they have their phones, they just go ahead, take pictures of anything, take videos of anything and post it online. Sometimes because they just want to trend. And it's not really good. I think they have to start arresting some of these content creators, because you need to seek the permission of some people to do some things. In fact, from a lot of persons,
permission.
if we all have to stand.
Permission from celebrity. Ogochuku, you said something.
No, that's a celebrity. You cannot tell me, okay, perhaps the person waved and you wind down because you wanted to see what exactly was the reason why he waved. Because for him to wind down, if he doesn't want to wind down, he won't wind down, and you're not going to see what is in his car. But he wind down because perhaps maybe he was just trying to, show a very good gesture, and he wind down and, maybe thinking you want to say hi, and the next thing you are taking your camera to take pictures. Do I want to be taken? Do I want to be, snapped up?
Right from the, I want to believe that
if you want my pictures, you can go on Google or any on my page to go get any of it. I believe that
while he was inside the car, he could already see what, it's a tinted glass, so I cannot see what is inside, but you can actually see what's outside. So he saw that phone was already up. And you could hear, excuse me, sir. Like you said, he's a content creator that I think works with exotic cars, interview owners of exotic cars and all of that. So perhaps that is the reason why he rose his camera up. And there's this content creator on TikTok. He walks up to very influential people and tell them, "Oh, sir, can I have a meeting with you? I have some followers. I would like to speak to you."
Okay.
How do you, when did you get your first $1 billion and all of that? It takes permission. With his camera.
To be very honest with you, do you know that most of those people, they don't just walk up to those influential men and say, "Oh, it is, most times it is staged." They've already taken permission. "Oh, sir, okay, you're going to walk like this. We are going to do this." So you have to take permission. These men are not just men that you just get to see every day on the streets.
It doesn't work. See, these people are influential, and people, I think they need to understand that they are influential. You don't choose where to be influential.
So you think all of those content are real? Like they just walk up to you, because they get to see. Even those ones you get to see a lot of Lagos to say, "Oh, this house." He takes permission before he goes to the house. They give him the.
We are actually working with what we see. We are working with the evidence. Now, from the evidence that we see, he walks up to influential people and tells them, introduces himself. And of course, they're Americans.
These are content. Content are arranged.
No, not all are arranged.
Okay, we know that some content can just be, but before even the usual one, you just get to see people sit. Maybe they just come up to you with a mic. We've seen some like that on the road. Come up with you with a mic. Okay, I know of a lady. She'll say, "Okay, sing this line sing this line, complete this line, this lyric for me," and she just sing part of the lyrics, and you have to complete. This one is like you're walking on the streets, and you get like a particular amount of money if you win, the lyrics and all of that. That one is understandable. You don't even need to ask anyone for permission. You can just say, you get to see some people say, "No, I'm not interested." They are on the streets. "No, I'm not interested." They are walking on the street. But there are some people that, that are influential. You just don't walk up to them to say, "I want to do this," or take microphone. I want to talk to you.
I think you're not actually getting the point. Influential people need to understand that you don't choose when and how and what time, what day to be influential. Today I'm walking on the road, my entourage, and I have people all over me say, "Oh, sir, my God, play for me, blah, blah, blah," and all of that. And today you're not with your entourage, and people are trying to crowd you, and you're angry because I'm not with my entourage, so I don't want to be influential. Everybody stay your lane. No, you are that way, so you should expect crowd at any given time. Like I said, I would always say, he shouldn't, if he didn't want to roll his glass down, he shouldn't have.
So I think
rolling the glass down shows that, I'm open to communication with you, or I'm open to threatening you to leave me. So that's the two.
Leave me alone.
Yes, that's literally the two factors on the reason why he would go down. Yeah, why is one down his car? It's either he wants to have a conversation, of which he did not, or he wanted to send him off by threatening him, not even threatening, by showing him their harms and sending him off. Because you could hear from the video that this guy was, according to Pastor said he was aggressive. You wouldn't wind down your glass.
At this point, we don't know if he was aggressive or not.
Of course, so we are going to leave that because it wasn't captured on camera.
But then again, I think what we need to even understand from this part, I'm not saying Pastor is right carrying firearms, but he has every right to carry firearms. If he's licensed, why not? You can carry your firearms. But then we need to learn that privacy is privacy. That's number one. I think that content creator, if he really wants to get a very good and engaging content, and he wants to get it from influential men, because of the kind of business he does is exotic cars, not just any car you saw on the road. If it's any car you see on the road, you can just go take pictures of any car. But this time around, you are not even just taking pictures. You will need to talk to the person, the owner of the car. So I would advise this content creator, if you really want a very beautiful content that is going to sell, try to meet up with the person you're interviewing ahead of time Talk to them to know if they are going to grant your audience than receiving this kind of embarrassment and then posting it because someone does not want you to have an interview with them.
Well, I'm not in the mind of that content creator, but I want to believe that he did not post it because he was turned down. That was going to be an
He
embarrassment.
posted it because he saw it from a pastor.
Not even a pastor. He posted it because that person was holding something that looks like a firearm. Now, people are saying it's not a firearm, it's not a firearm. Pastor came out and said, oh, people are trying to blackmail me, it's a strategy, all of that. Okay.
But is he even agreeing that, is he even agreeing that, okay, I agree it's not a pistol, it's not a gun, but it's something like a shocker or a teaser or something.
Well tell us,
is he agreeing that?
It come out
because that thing is not a phone.
Exactly. We are hearing from other persons that, oh, it's a teaser.
So we'll be waiting for when Paul Adefarasin tells us, okay, it is not a gun, no, but it is a teaser. Like people are, speculating online, and then, or it is something to scare people away. And also,
he's also going to answer the question. With all due respect, I love Pastor Adefarasin, but let's call a spade a spade. He's also going to answer the question on why you had to buy a teaser that looks like a gun and you had to hold it while winding down.
No, I don't think he really needs to.
No, he would have to answer that.
Perhaps it's just to scare people.
I don't want to go into the Bible now, but whatever will make your brothers to fall, please abstain from it. If a robber sees you with that teaser, he go to say both of them are the same thing. Because I'm holding a gun.
You see, it's going to scare the robber. So the robber will be scared this guy has a gun.
You can hold the teaser. If that content creator had come close to Pastor and that thing did not look like a gun, but it's a teaser, he would have used it on him, and the boy wouldn't have, or the content creator wouldn't have, he wouldn't have even seen it coming. But seeing something that looks like a gun, even before time, he will run.
Oh, wow. It's okay. It's okay. At this point, everyone is correct, but, we are all saying, why is he holding a teaser that looks like a gun? We do not know. It's all speculations, like you read earlier. We do not know if it's really a teaser or if it's a gun. It is only Pastor Adefarasin who is holding that thing can tell us, okay, it is either a teaser or a gun or something else.
Exactly.
You understand? So, but for now, I think he has the right to hold any teaser. So far, it is licensed. It is nobody's, nobody's, what's it called again?
Hold anything, but don't point it at anyone, because that is what the problem will be there.
If there's a problem, please point it, sir. I support you.
Of course, if I and Ogochukwu dwell on this conversation,
it will not finish.
It will not finish. It will not finish. This is where we draw the line. And this is all we have for you today on the show Randoms. I hope you enjoyed the show today. And if you were unable to watch the episode, you can catch up on YouTube using the handle Global TV NG, and you can also download the Global TV Nigeria app on your iOS and of course your Android devices to watch all our programs and up-to-date news on the go. Remember, I always will say you could leave your comment, or you can leave your comment rather, on our YouTube page, and we'll pick your comment maybe and read it out one day. So kindly drop your comments as you watch the program, follow through, and let us get your opinions and what you think about the show and all of that. Well, for now, I, Ogochukwu, would say
bye.